Employers added 467,000 jobs in the month of January. At the same time, the unemployment rate ticked up slightly to 4.0%. Many people are still looking for jobs or looking for a transition into a different kind of job or career, and we know that you have all kinds of questions. That job search can be challenging, and this is why we have brought in a whole team of experts to help you navigate that process. Guilford Works Director Chris Rivera can talk to you about anything unemployment and how to do your job search requirements. Guilford Works Career Readiness Facilitator Lee Howell will talk to you about tips for landing a job and upcoming workshops. And then Will Graham is the COO of Graham Personnel Services. That's not based in Graham, that's here in Greensboro. That is his last name. He's going to give you an idea of other jobs that are out there and what it's like to list with a temp agency. All right, so we want you to text your questions to 336-379-5775. Remember, this is a text only, so please don't call, but we do want to get your questions to our experts. All right, so first and foremost, Chris, kind of give us that overview, that big picture of what we're looking at.
Yeah, so you kind of opened it perfectly. You know, economy is still growing. Employers are adding lots of jobs across the country, and certainly here in Guilford County, it's no different. Whereas nationally, the unemployment rate, took a slight uptick. We were fortunate enough to see a 0.2 decrease. So, we're sitting at about 3.8 unemployment. Lots of jobs in the community, upwards of 51,000 jobs at this point. So if you think about the last couple of times we've met and talked with viewers, we've been in the 40,000 range. We've added, some 2,200 over the last 45 days or so. But lots of employers are hiring, and our economy continues to grow.
So the economy continues to grow, lots of people hiring, and then some people looking for jobs. We're wondering where all that's going.
Yeah, no, lots of individuals are, out looking for work. We also saw our unemployment claimant numbers drop by about 2,400 as well. So we're happy to see that people are actively looking and taking work. But, when you lay that side by side to 51,000, it seems that, there are many more jobs that need to be filled. So our organization is actually commissioning a survey to poll job seekers to better understand what may be discouraged with them from entering the workforce.
All right. So for those of you who are I would like to transition, but I kind of need some help with that. Well, you know what? NC Works and Guilford Works, they have all kinds of workshops for you to do. So Lee, let's talk about those workshops and what some people can be looking forward to.
Right. So coming up on Monday, we do start the week off with our improving communication workshop. So definitely want you to be more mindful of the 5 different types of communication. So written, verbal, receptive, nonverbal, formal, and informal. Moving on to Tuesday, to where we have our full day of workshops that I definitely want everybody in Guilford County to take advantage of. So we started off with the Build Your Resume workshop. From there, we move on to the job search techniques. Then we take a slight break. We'll come back and touch on professional etiquette, and then move on to end the day with the interview basics workshop. And it also just want everybody to know that NC Works is a very good resource for helping create a nice, strong, effective resume for any of these jobs that you are trying to get into.
All right, and we are going to talk about that a little bit more at length. We're going to kind of do a round robin so everybody gets a smattering of what's happening here. Hey, Will, I know you've got a bunch of graphics that kind of talk about why people are transitioning, what they're looking for, and all that kind of jazz. So let's first and foremost start with what's the most important thing in a new job.
You bet. So my company, we surveyed almost 20,000 people and asked them a lot of questions and got about almost 1,500 responses. And so this information will be helpful for the job seeker as well as the employer. So number one by far is pay. It really leads the pack, kind of head and shoulders above the rest. Number 2 is job security. Number 3 is enjoying the work. Number 4 is benefits. And number 5 is advancement opportunities. So that's kind of a voice of what the job seeker is saying they are wanting. When the flip side of that is then the employer needs to hear what the job seeker is saying that they want and make sure they're winning in those categories.
Yeah, and make changes that way. Okay. Now, you also asked them during the survey about, are you looking for another job?
You bet. And the overwhelming majority of people are. So we had 3 answers there. Is yes, currently employed but actively looking was 40%, and then currently unemployed and actively working is 24%. So you've got about 68% of the folks that are going to be looking for a job. So know that you're not alone in the job looking. If you're on the employer side, know that about only 32% of your workforce is not looking. So make sure, I think the number one thing for not losing people is having a good retention policy to retain them as well.
Okay, and then one last one. How do you look for a job? And this is interesting about how they're going about doing that.
Yeah, so we gave them about 5 choices, and the number one answer was all of the above. But the big ones, for the job seeker, think about, where do I need to go to look for a job? It doesn't come naturally on how to look for a job. So the job boards are the biggest, right? Indeed, Career Builder, Facebook. Number 2, but it could have been our poll, is a staffing agency, since we're polling people that have worked for a staffing agency. And then the number 3rd one is friend or family referral. That's also a big one. So make sure that you're hitting your personal network, that you're letting people know that you're looking for a job. Have you heard of any jobs? People are also in your boat. If 68% of the folks are looking for jobs actively or passively, that means 7 out of 10 people that you're going to talk to in a given day are also saying, hey, I'm also in the same boat with you on this.
And it's not in like a desperate look for a job. It's in like a, I'm looking to better and do something else.
Yeah. There's active job seekers, right? Those that are saying, all right, I'm unemployed. I'm going to go and find a job. My goal is to find a job this week or this month. But then there's passive job seekers as well that are saying, I'm where I am, but I'd like to be doing more. I'm not fulfilled. I'm very interested. And they're going to look here and there on their own.
All right, well, speaking of that, Chris, you guys have a job board. Just like his graphic said, they're looking at job boards. And Guilford Works, NC Works has a job board. Let's talk about some of the new jobs that are up.
Yeah, so the majority of our jobs are, actually all of our jobs are housed in the state's MIS system or job board, NC Works Online or ncworks.gov. Similar to how we report out, here are the jobs, or the number of jobs that have been entered into our system over the last 45 days. We're seeing that shift back up to the administrative and office support type jobs. So this is good for those individuals that are looking to maybe have entryways into clerical types of positions. Management jobs are also strong across all industries as well. We've seen about 200 of those that have entered our system in the last 45 days. And you'll just see a hodgepodge across all different types of occupations. I can go line by line on, but I won't, for the sake of time. But certainly individuals that are interested in applying for these jobs, that are actively looking or even passively looking, visit ncworks.gov. You can apply directly there, or you can reach out to one of our career advisors in our NC Works Career Centers, and they can work to connect you directly to those employment opportunities via our relationships with the employers.
Yeah, okay, and we're going to talk more about resources and how NC Works can help you and Guilford Works can help you. We're also going to be talking about the jobs that Graham Personnel Services is seeing on their list as well. That's all coming up, plus your text questions right after this break.